HCB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball. Good morning. Hope you're well. I hope that this finds you well as well, wherever you are, whether you be in traffic, getting up, getting ready for whatever it is you're doing, work, school. I hope I'm here to, give you guys a bit of entertainment this morning here on a Monday. Do you like Mondays? Not really. I don't either. In saying that, though, again, hope you're well. Thank you again for, partaking in that. Hope this show, goes according to plan. We'll see what happens. But yes, this is another installment of Breakfast. We'll hold the ball where I'm just around, right? So yeah, again, saying that, good morning. So we'll get straight into it. So round two, right? Round two was how do you say this in terms of tipping? This was basically if you got 8 out of 8, you need to go to the police station and hand yourself in, because there's just something wrong that you're doing right now. All right. Look, my goodness me, there was some big upsets, and we'll get into it. Again, just a quick little review, a bit of a different spin. Anyway, we'll get into it. So the first game here was the Panthers and the Rabbitohs. Panthers winning that game there, 16 points to 10. Now, this game for mine, I think a lot of tipsters were probably backing on the momentum there, of the Rabbitohs, and probably inclined to perhaps decline the Panthers in this game here. I know I was one of them. This game for mine was brutal. It was strong. And again, it just showed just how much the Penrith Panthers haven't missed the beat when things go right. It was a physical game. I just thought for mine, Rabbitohs, granted, they sort of saved everything for the last 3 minutes. You can't do that. All right, you can't do that. Penrith Panthers, though, again, doing well to prove their critics. And at the same time as well, they did well to keep beating the Rabbitohs. It's something they do and they keep doing. And again, their backs were against the wall. But hey, in saying that, though, the only crack really was the Rabbitohs. And that's just the way it went. Penrith Panthers too good there. Second game there was the Eels against the Sharks, right? Basically, the Eels were virtually unbeatable, looking good heading into this one here. And it just wasn't the case. Sharks losing 26 points to 30. In a game where the Sharks, I suppose, had momentum, they had their chances, but the Sharks just pounced. They did well. Obviously, Kennedy there scoring 3 tries. Now, granted, it probably wasn't the best way anyway for the Eels to probably go about it, particularly game number 2, facing a 0-2 record. Still, hats off to the Sharks, though, who were physical, did well, and again, were just... Again, short, back against the wall, and they still managed to win. So it is what it is there, unfortunately, there for the Sharks. Third game. Now, this one here was good. It saw the Broncos beating the Cowboys 28 points to 16. Star player Reece Walsh there was very pivotal in this game here. Only 2 tries to 5 tries there. It was I suppose going to this game here, a lot of people probably tipped the Cowboys to win this game. They looked the stronger team before, the kickoff anyway. It just wasn't the case. They just really couldn't get the ball rolling there. Again, virtually only 1 try in the first minute, and in the 72nd minute, obviously through Nanai scoring a double, but it just wasn't good enough. Broncos were just more adaptive to the situation surroundings. They were very fluid in attack. They were fast-paced. They were, let's be honest now, they were showing, I suppose, glimpses of what a top 4 team looks like. I mean, that's just what I saw, in my opinion. However, in saying that, it is what it is there. Obviously, we know the rivalry between these 2 teams here, these 2 great teams. Broncos doing well to win it this time. All right. Last year, probably give the Cowboys, but this is a new year. New year, new Broncos, right? Next game here was Dolphins against the Raiders. Talk about resilience, talk about persistence. Talk about never give up, never say die attitude, right? Am I right? It was a really slow, methodical game. The rain probably didn't help. However, in saying that, though, the Dolphins just did well to keep on keeping on. Doubles there to Tabuai Fido, Jack White and Kotrick were the only players for the Raiders there to cross over the line there. But ultimately, it just wasn't good enough from the Raiders, who came into this game here again with a lot of pressure, and they just couldn't handle the heat. Regardless, they couldn't handle the heat. Dolphins doing well. I believe they broke a record as well. The first debut team since 1910 to actually win back-to-back games. The question is, can they win the next one, right? We have to wait and see. But again, a good victory there. Todd Whitefield was all over the ball. Didn't matter where you kicked it, where you wanted to kick it. He was thereabouts, and he was just so fantastic. Again, Dolphins winning that game. They're 20 points to 14. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. But it's very exciting there for your Dolphins fan. That is for sure. The next game was the Storm against the Doggies, right? Who saw this come? Put your hand up right now if you actually saw this coming. That's right. You didn't, unless you're a Bulldogs fan. If that is the case, congrats. Bulldogs with a lot of bite. A lot of mongrel in them, so to speak. 12 points to 26. I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming at all. Now, granted, the Storm were without Munster, but you just feel like the outfit that the Storm is, their outfit, who they are, who they represent, you just feel like it doesn't matter who's in, who's playing, they're just going to be able to beat virtually anyone. It just wasn't the case. This was just, tries there to Nelson Solomon, Jerome Hughes as well. But for me, it was only 2 tries to 5, the likes of Perez scoring a double, Edeka as well in the mix there. It was just a perfect game for the Bulldogs. Like, we all know their game against Manly. I suppose a lot of us were probably shaking our heads at that result, right? Really, you don't have to support the Bulldogs, right? It is what it is. And then for some reason, they decided to play like this. Now, the way that the Bulldogs played is it scary? Is it scary hours? You know what I mean? Is it scary? Is it something you should be afraid of potentially? I mean, again, don't know, but goodness me, it just caught me off guard. That's all I'm going to say. It was a good, rough game. They were ready. They were physical. They were dominant. They were just a dominating team, right? Oh, goodness me. Sure, probably not the most polished night for the Storm there in patches, but hey, kudos to the Bulldogs there. 12 points to 26. You cannot go wrong, that is for sure. Next game here was the Tigers against the Knights, right? This game here, I think many have described as a good, scrappy, yucky, ugly, goofy game, right? It had all the hallmarks of a very bad game, yet a very interesting game. And that's just the way it happened, right? That's just exactly the way it panned out there. But unfortunately, in this case here, if you're a Tigers fan, you guys don't win this game. 12 points to 14. One talking point, though, obviously the Hastings incident and the Kalen Ponga incident. Now, the question I want to raise to you is, right, this is his 4th concussion in 10 months. He's about 23, 24 years old. Young man, right? The world is his oyster. He's got the money. He's got everything. When do we start talking about retirement or perhaps sitting out for the season? Maybe retirement might be a topic too far, but the reality is when you get concussed that many times, you start questioning the long-term effects, maybe the short-term, right? What are the ramifications? When Kevin Ponga is hypothetically in his 40s, 50s, how does that bode for him? How does he, he's just, anyway, the game itself, back to the game, tries to basically, virtually with not even a minute in the game there, Asu scores a try there, Gepawa, and then Stefano Utoi Kamando as well in the 40th minutes as well. So ironic, right? It's the way it panned out. But the Knights, again, doubles for Young as well, right? It's really interesting, in my opinion, anyway, how this sort of turned. A lot of us, I think, were tipping the Tigers. I definitely tipped the Tigers. It just wasn't the case, really. No, apologies. I took the Knights. Sorry. I took the Knights. Jackson Hastings, that incident there, after the interview there, he had an interview in Talau. He went over to Talau, and there was a little bit of an argy-bargy going on there. So it was quite interesting to see the response there from Talau. You may or may not agree with what he did, but that's the point. The reality is it happened. And again, as well, just quickly, the Tigers, just shocking, ugly game, but to lose that one. What does that mean? Question, what does that mean? Genuinely, what does that mean? We all know the resurgence of the hype, the movement of staff, this, that, everything else. Benji as well into the mix. 0-2. 0-2, Yeah, also tough luck there on Alex Twal, who was that close to scoring the ball, but unfortunately, you got to hold the ball to score a try. But Frizzell there obviously swatting the ball from his grasp there. But that's just the way it goes. Tigers fans, please get back to me. What's happening? Please tell me. Last game as well was the Dragons against the Titans. And again, a game where I think a lot of the majority of people picked the Titans to win here. Unfortunately, for the Titans, it was not the case. Dragons winning 32 points to 18 in a very, a game of two halves. It's a cliche. First half, it was virtually all Titans, right? Until Mikaele Ravalawa scored in the 39th minute to basically let them have the momentum by 2 points, which was the case. Second half, it was, second half, it was virtually all Dragons from there on in. Fa'asua Maliawi scoring in the 70th minute. Pressure, speed, defense. I suppose for the Titans, lack of, attack. Maybe, defense definitely questioned there. But in saying that, though, it's one of those games where I just think it just wasn't the Titans' night. What do you do? What do you do? Possession, errors, all that stuff there. Dragons do well to capitalize, and to capitalize they did. Again, it's amazing, because they were the team that a lot of people tipped to lose. And, hey, maybe having an extra break probably pays off anyway. Who knows? But that's just the way it went there. So, again, kudos there to the Dragons winning that one there. Now we come to the tips review. Now, hold the ball, myself here. I had a bit of a go at my tips this week, and I'll tell you what. You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. All right, you guys ready? This was probably one of the worst performances, individual performances, by a tipster in NRL. But look at there, guys. So you can see I got the Rabbitohs wrong, the Eels wrong, Cowboys wrong, Warriors wrong, Raiders wrong, Storm wrong, Knights correct, Titans wrong. I only got one tip correct. All right, you know what that means? That's right. Guess what? Here we go. You guys ready? How the HTB guarantee go? Well, this is how it went. Nothing. All right, as you can see there, slow. I only got one tip right. Family, send help. That's right, HTB family. HTB needs help, so please help me. Please restore. But in saying that, look, it sucked, but we got another chance again next week, and I'm hoping to come back stronger and hopefully continue in that fashion. So first two rounds have been really rough for me. I only got a total of five correct in the last fortnight. Number 1 and 2. So look, we're hoping to bounce back strong. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, here we go. This is the Insta work, right, where I talk about my Instagram stuff. So we'll just get straight into it. Pacifica and Māori team. Here's my team for round 2, right? Give me your thoughts on it overall. I'll just take this down here. I've got Tabuai Whido, fullback, Sibo as well as Ravalawa in the wings, Swali'i as well as Gagai at centres. In the halves, I have Brown as well as Hughes. In the front row, I have Eden Blake as well as Payne Haas. In the hooking position, I have is Jeremy Marshall King. In the second row, I have Britton Nikora as well as Elias Katoa and Toy Harris as lock. In the interchange, I have Dylan Walker, Fa'asua Mariawi, Asafa Solomona, Golo Matangi, as well as 18th man, Dave Fifita. That is my round 2 for the Pacific Island Māori team. But give me your thoughts. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? We'd love to hear a bit of feedback there. But yeah, that's it. That's the way it sort of swayed for me. So with that being said, let's carry on. This one here, right? As you guys know, I'm keeping, if you don't know, I actually do a week-to-week analysis of the 4 Queensland teams. Queensland, because it's 4 teams, it's small enough to actually be able to have a deep dive. And so that's exactly what I've done. This week, though, very interesting. If you can remember, it was actually the Titans who were first place, right? They were looking very good there. However, not the case this time around here. Dolphins have leapfrogged the Titans there. Titans, with that, lost it to the Dragons, falling down to 3rd place. Cowboys, obviously, springboarding from 3rd to 2nd. So you can see there's been a bit of a maneuvering as well. Cowboys have plateaued. They're literally at 4th place. So this is their 2nd week at 4th place, and the only team that has not moved from their position there. So again, well-deserved there to the Dolphins. Dolphins were good, obviously, as described before. Broncos, they did well to beat their rivals there. Titans, what can you say? A game they shouldn't have lost, and they did. Kudos to the Dragons, but again, the Titans coming with all that momentum. It's tough. Anyway, and last but not least, the Cowboys. What do you say, right? A tough loss there to our rivalries there, to the rivals there in the Broncos. But again, there's always another chance to try and mitigate that and hopefully bounce back. So we'll have to wait and see what happens to the Cowboys there. But that is my NRL only, my NRL Queensland only sort of thing. So, yeah. So, yes, also as well, expansions, right? So, for those of you who are unaware, there's been a lot of talk of expansion. Now, HCB does have a few videos planned to talk about this particular subject. If you guys don't know already, I'm actually a very avid fan of expansion. I love it. I am very progressive when it comes to rugby league. I think it's the only way for the game to go forward. Now, granted, everyone has different explanations and thoughts of who the next 3 teams should be. Simply put, I think it should be Perth, Adelaide, another team in New Zealand. Now, granted, some people say there should be another team in Queensland. Some people say there should be another team in New South Wales. Some people are saying there should be a Pacifica team. Now, my video here will talk about reasons why I'm against that. At the same time as well, reasons why I'm for what I am for, with some support and evidence as well. Now, again, it's all subjective purely because you just never know what's going to really happen. However, if you just bring a little bit of data, a little bit of fact, maybe it can sort of sway people's opinions, I think. But anyway, I did also release a video as well prior to this one here, where I was actually had the privilege to actually talk with Aiden, where he was talking about his position, being from South Australia, being an avid, rugby league fan, and then coming into terms with the fact that Adelaide had a rugby league team and how he wanted to, discover more. And now he's really passionate about the movement of bringing back rugby league to Adelaide, the Adelaide Rams, if you will. And hey, at the same time, hold the ball. I'm from South Australia as well, so I'm actually happy and agree as well. So have to wait and see. But yes, stay tuned for my expansion videos. Expansion is the only way for NRL to survive. Also, I'll say this before we move on to the last little bits as well. The NRL should be taking the N a lot more seriously, right, than they do. Can't say NRL and keep on expanding east and west. You got to look at the South. You got to look at South Australia. You got to look at WA. Another team in New Zealand. Anyway, stay tuned for my videos. Give me thoughts. All right, so the plans this week, before we close this off, the plans this week, I've got a episode 6 with Was Up, right, podcast. A Kiwi Warriors fan who is going to be joining me as we dissect the game against the Roosters, looking to preview the game against the Cowboys, and I suppose just go from there and see whatever happens. So again, that's the Was Up podcast, and I'm looking forward to having them on my show, and I cannot wait to highlight the ups and downs and the turnarounds. Right, so looking forward to that one there. Stay tuned. Again, obviously, look at my tips. Look for HTB to make a strong comeback. Goodness me, humiliating. Stay tuned. I might drop the expansion video this week, so be on the lookout for that as well. I believe I'll also be with the Wobbling Draw sports channel on Saturday as the Warriors, fly over and burst the Cowboys over in Townsville. So looking forward to that as well. And I'll try and throw in a few other bits and pieces as well. Also in the works of trying to get a podcast happening with the Toronto Saints team. The rugby league team in Toronto, in Canada. And I'm hoping to get that done, sorted. We'll have to see it. It's been a bit hard. The interview may or may not happen. Obviously, I want it to happen, but it's about timing, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, that is it. That's me there for now. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Take it easy. Hopefully, you're having yourself a nice morning coffee, morning brekkie, getting ready to start the day on a bit of a bang. But I will see you very soon. Thank you again. Take it easy. And last thing as well. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share it around as well for all of you there who've been supporting me. I appreciate it very, very muchly. There's a lot of things happening in this channel, so we're going to be smashing, getting onto it as well. But that's it. Take it easy. See you guys next time. And just remember, hold the ball.